There we go. Middle Newcastle. These Harold Thornbro. Well, you're gonna have to say your like your Facebook pages and all that stuff, because I butcher it every time I try to say something about your.
I have smalltownhomestead.com is the website, and the Modern Homesteading Podcast is my podcast. And this is my little garden.
There's some strawberries.
Yeah, we have strawberries. We got the cherry tree behind you. Got a blueberry bush there that looks like it ain't doing too hot. I don't even remember. I think that's butternut and some marigolds and whatnot in there. And a couple rose bushes or some stuff. I think that's butternut also in that pot. And then we got some comfrey. These are pear trees. Got some comfrey growing. And
another squash.
Yeah, it's a squash. I think that's a. That might be a yellow squash.
And some dandelion greens.
Yeah.
You cultivated those, right?
Yeah, right. And of course, there's just a hodgepodge of things in here. We've got the rhubarb, but then there's tomatoes. I just kind of plant things together and just kind of keep them separated a little bit. And then the goji berry's kind of taken over this area though, so it's demanding.
And how long has that goji berry been there? Did you say?
Last spring, and it was like that big when I planted it. I mean, it was kind of small. And of course, we got a little water fountain here for the. Oh, I got some. That's some parsley, not parsley, some dill growing right there. I got dill, and I got a couple places I got some dill.
What is this again? This is rhubarb.
That's rhubarb, yeah.
I haven't planted any rhubarb yet. I'm wanting to.
Tomatoes, flowers. I think there's some herbs kind of stacked around in here too. Again, the goji berry though, man, it's just that'll be useful once the berries pop out. But I'm going to be taking some of it out because it's spreading. It's dropping new plants here and there. Basil. And a couple tomatoes and stuff in there, but let me enter into that's just a little side garden. Just 2 years ago, this was just solid grass up through here. There wasn't a walkway.
How long ago? 2 years?
2 years ago, there wasn't a walkway. There wasn't any trees. This was just all grass. This fence wasn't even here, and we put this all in the last 2 years. So it's just been an extension of.
And you said about 5 years ago, this is all.
Yeah. This was all grass. This entire backyard was all grass. These walkways weren't here. None of this was here. 5 years ago.
I was thinking about the other day. I was curious when you started, because the last time I've been here was back when Ricky lived over here, back on his back street, and I didn't remember you having none of this. So.
Yeah, there's a little herb garden, just a few pots with some herbs.
That's sage,
and that's that marjoram, and that is oregano, and I can't remember what that is, and that's mint. And then you got, I can get it.
Okay, I got it.
Some purple basil
there you go.
There as well. Yeah, we just want to keep the dog in. Purple basil.
I like that purple basil.
And I'm here doing a little. I'm trying to, get to where I'm cultivating some plantain around this little apple tree here, using it for ground cover, but it's also my rabbits love it. It's good. It has a lot of medicinal qualities as well.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to put it in this spot and just let it kind of grow around, let it kind of spread, and just totally cover that.
What do you say this is? What is this?
This is an apple, but those other three. There was a cherry in the front, and then the other three were pear, and this one's an apple, and then we got some romaine and grass growing here, kind of taking over.
Peas.
And then, I got some peas. These are actually sugar snap peas. This is another apple tree that pruned pretty bad. I thought I killed it. I had a big heavy pallet leaned up against this deck in the winter, and it blew over and hit this and laid it flat. And I came home from work and it was laying flat, and I was like, man, am I going to be able to save this thing? And I actually tied it back, and it looks like it's doing all right though. And then we got zucchini and some yellow crookneck squash all on this fence. I got blackberry, raspberry, raspberry, and it's just raspberry from there on down. There's a couple more raspberries. But then we have the zucchini and the yellow crookneck. There's a couple cherry tomato plants in there too. I just kind of plopped in there, marigolds, things like that. And then we're practically a comfrey farm. Oh, we got a ripe blueberry here. Oh, look at that.
I've been thinking about getting some. Oh, yeah, I do. I've been thinking about. I didn't even know blueberry grew in Indiana, but I've seen everybody selling them.
These aren't going to grow if I don't trim this comfrey back, because they're not getting much sunlight. I cut these down about half this size about a week ago.
Wow.
I put it all over, so you can see where I laid it over the bed for fertilizer. Yeah. That's what's in those beds.
You cut them down in half and they grew that much over a week? I cut them down
about right there about a week ago.
Wow. And I've been worried about mine. You ain't going to hurt them.
Ground probably 3 or 4 times a year.
Wow.
And and they do just fine. And I got more comfrey here, and there's just a kind of hodgepodge of things there growing, but it's not edible stuff. It's just kind of decoration stuff. But we enjoyed it. It's a nice little bridge to walk across. It's the ambiance of the garden's nice. And there's romaine, and man, look at all this grass popping up in here. I got to do something about that. Anyway, that wasn't even there just a couple days ago. These are actually second-year onions that I popped back in the ground because I want them to go to seed. You see where they're starting to go to seed. But yeah, I had a few that we didn't use from last year, and I just planted them back in here and thought, well, we'll just get some seeds from them this year. Again, I got 2 comfrey plants and a blueberry at the end of each one of these beds. I don't normally let the comfrey get this big, but it's going crazy. This is beets. Now, with beets, we like the beets, and I'll use the beets later in the year, but I eat the greens like chard.
That's good to know, because she just planted beets, and I hate beets.
Yeah, the greens.
But I'll go with the.
I think they're real similar.
My understanding is also deer love beets too. So
yeah.
I wonder how easy. Don't people buy like beet seeds and plant them as a food crop? Will they? I mean, will do like permaculture? If I plant a big patch of beets, will they keep on coming back?
No, they're
I don't do anything with
them. They're not perennial unless you let them go to seed and they'll spread their seed or whatever. But they're not. Yeah, they're an annual. But what they're good for is that they break up soil because they're a taproot, of course. So they're going in, and then if you leave, if say you mow it down and you leave those beets in there, they'll decompose. So it's organic matter in the soil. So it's creating a healthier soil.
Like clover.
Yeah, it's creating a healthier soil with
kind of like a cover.
Yeah, kind of like that. But yeah, so it's doing something healthy for that. We can go back to the greenhouse in a minute. There's not much in there. There's really nothing in there. Oh, there's tomatoes in there, I guess. Peppers, and there's actually, this wasn't a pepper bed. And I told you I got attacked by the sow bugs this year. This bed was entirely provider bush beans. They ate every one of them. They popped up, got about 2 inches tall, and the sow beans sow beetles, bugs, they just ate it. There's actually other things growing in here. There's some.
It looks like some broccoli.
I have some broccoli. I have some. There's some spinach growing in there. There's something else on this side. I can't remember.
That looks like more peas or something over there. I don't know what those are.
I can't remember.
See something sprout.
I know there's broccoli and spinach, and there's something on this side. And I can't remember what it is. I feel kind of embarrassed. I can't tell you. But I guess got a couple banana peppers and a couple bell peppers, and then this. I don't know what this is, and I'll tell you why it's here. This right here, I just planted here yesterday because it was growing over there. And I thought it was cabbage because I had it in the same tray with all those cabbages that are growing right there. And obviously that wasn't. It's
some sort of zucchini or squash type thing or something.
Squash, yeah, but I don't know which one it is. So I just put it there yesterday. It was growing right here where this marigold is because it was in the same tray with all this cabbage when I put the cabbage out, and it obviously wasn't cabbage. So I just moved it over there, give it some more room to grow because I didn't really want it sprouting out across my sidewalk here. And again, we got the raspberries and whatnot. Remember that tripod there?
Yep.
That's the one you gave me. This is
Made
all
good
onions.
use of it.
But looky here. What do we got here? What's that?
Purslane.
Purslane. Yeah, I let that stuff grow in the gardens, and there's some growing up there too, and I let it grow wherever it grows because that right there is my favorite weed.
I do. I like it too.
I love it.
I like a little steak, man. That was good.
And it makes a great ground cover. You see how it'll sprout out? And I'll let it grow right around everything. And it'll actually just cover up the ground. It makes a good cover crop, kind of a cover crop for your soil beds. And I eat the crap out of it. I love it. But
the only place I found it growing so far, surely it's got to pop up somewhere else, but I found it growing around my watermelons this year, and that's the only place I found it so far. But I was glad to see it.
Your raspberry plants that you're taking.
He's hooking me up some raspberry
got
plants.
Got some garlic in that box back there.
I just planted some garlic last week.
That's a mulberry tree. That's a sweet potato vine that's hanging down. Got cucumbers here that are going to trellis up over this eventually, hopefully, and onions growing in there as well with it. And but see, I actually got this trellis here, and I put a little bar across here because this grapevine goes crazy every year, and it ends up getting over here hanging in front of my door and everything else. So I actually put that up, and I'm going to keep it trimmed. And I'm just going to let it walk right over here and meet the cucumbers over here. I thought that would be kind of cool.
And there's going to be your hydroponics.
Aquaponics tank. Yeah, we're going to go aquaponics. It's going to have fish in it. Here we have the parsley and some cabbage and, of course, marigold. And in the greenhouse, I'm done with the seeds.
I like that greenhouse.
What we're doing now is we're just growing some tomatoes in the raised beds here. I got these shelves. There's just 2x4s I put in here. I remove those, let the tomatoes grow up through the shells, and then I have tomatoes. This whole entire greenhouse by midsummer will be full of Roma tomatoes. So That works out nice. Let's walk around this way. Let's go across the bridge.
Okay, across the bridge. I haven't got to walk across the bridge yet.
We'll go across the bridge, kind of see some things over here. Again, this is more, my waterfall is actually broke. I got a pump.
And look, there's a fish. I think I see it.
Yeah, there's some goldfish in there, or some, not goldfish, actually, they're koi. That's actually a waterfall, but I've actually got it shut off right now because I had a leak in the pipe rolling over here, so I shut it off till I get that fixed. Over here, I'm building these are mammoth sunflowers that get about 10 feet tall. I'm just going to basically build a wall of sunflower here to kind of get some privacy on this side. Those will grow pretty quick. In about a month, those will probably be 7-8 feet tall. All along this mulch trail here, we got comfrey. All along this trail. And this is kind of an experiment because it keeps the grass, I was telling you, it creates like a weed barrier. The root mass is so big on these, it'll actually keep the grass and the creeping Charlie and everything from walking into this path eventually. Hey, buddy. Yeah, these are pole beans here. There's that little maple tree I was going to give you. I told you I ended up planting.
Yeah.
And got some cucumbers that'll trellis up this. Every year I grow stuff here, and this works. That's just a sweet potato vine that'll hang down for some.
You ever feed your rabbits sunflower seeds?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they like sunflower. I don't usually give them those kind of give them the black oil sunflower seeds, and they like those. I put a little bit of that in their feed. This mulberry tree was almost cut to nothing but a stick this winter because it was so out of control, and it didn't stop it from being out of control. It came right back to being out of control. And there's so much foliage on here, it really doesn't produce any berries. But that's okay because I feed the mulberry leaves to the rabbits.
So I was going to say,
rabbits are right there. It feeds the rabbits. So
I've got one growing by that shed that I don't even want growing there, but I'm not ready to chop it down yet because I'm just using it for it's right there by the rabbits.
And that's how I feel about this. I don't care that
it's like a feeder, rabbit feeder.
You know, mulberry is one of my favorite fruits. It really is. But I don't care that this one doesn't produce it because, like I said, the foliage is so beneficial.
I'm doing exactly the same thing.
I don't really care. This is going to be a little trellis here for these pole beans. They're climbing up here, both sides, and then eventually we'll make a nice little walking tunnel. I've got an apple tree here with tons of apples.
They're starting to get red too.
I probably need to thin it down a little bit. Got strawberries, a few strawberries planted here. I think that's a tomato growing in the middle, but that's a volunteer. There's more garlic in that little bed. That's all broccoli over there. I don't know if you got that or not.
Yeah, I saw
it. All broccoli, and then of course some lilies on the end and stuff. And another little lettuce bed here. See that volunteer tomato growing in the gravel? It's just popped right.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Popped right up in the gravel. It looks like it's growing pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
And there's landscape pepper underneath gravel, so it's pretty amazing. I actually got 3 different kinds of lettuce in here, and I can tell the one ain't growing very well. My dog goes up here and tramples the stuff up there. So
it looks like bib or butter or something.
Yep, that's what that is. And then there's some black-seeded Simpson and something else. I got the tags somewhere.
I don't like the black-seeded Simpson for anything except for. Do you ever do wilted? The wilted lettuce?
No.
It's good like that.
Yeah.
That's about the only. Because otherwise it tastes like tissue paper.
But the thing is, I kind of get a mixture. I'll get a little bit of this, a little bit of romaine. I'll get all the different kinds. I'll kind of make a salad out of everything. Yeah, so.
You fix a black-seeded Simpson just right with the wilted. Tastes like green candy.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
You wanted to see the
rabbits. But as a salad, I think it tastes like I feel like I'm eating tissue paper.
We have
it's so papery.
This is the hidden hidden rabbit pen here.
Yeah, I washed my hair. I done did this once.
And it's pretty dark in here, so you may not be able to.
Yeah, it's picking. Seems to. Right? It looks like it's picking it up pretty good.
Yeah, and we just got a couple rabbits right now. We butchered a bunch here a while back, and these are just my 2 breeder does. So.
And some big rabbits too.
They're huge. This is American chinchilla. This is a cinnamon.
Look how fat them things.
When you breed a New Zealand with an American chinchilla, you get cinnamon, and they're doing really well. Yeah, they're probably too fat.
That one's really fat.
I collect. Now this is interesting here. I tried to experiment here. I had the rabbits on this side, and I had rabbits on this side. And here I let it go to the ground because I just wanted. I'm trying to do some vermicomposting. I actually had this tarp here. I actually had both sides completely tarped in, and I only took them down because I recently cleaned them out. But I let it go to the ground here. On this side, I actually built a false floor, and I got a piece of fencing across the bottom of it, and I put cardboard across that, and I was vermicomposting here, and like I said, I had tarp sides up, had vermicomposting in here, and I wanted to see how it did. and I was just going to be able to pull the castings out from the bottom, reach underneath with a shovel and pull the castings out from the bottom. That actually did not work very well. This actually has a lot more worms in it, a lot more activity, and there's a lot more broke down on this side. So I think I'm actually going to take that out and just go straight to the ground because it seems like it works better.
This whole thing used to be a colony, right?
Yeah, actually there wasn't a roof here. I just put this little roof over and everything, and this was just fenced in. And we had rabbits raising in here on the floor, on the ground. This is a dirt floor, colony raising rabbits, and that was out of control. I couldn't control it, but it's a mess in here right now. I'm almost embarrassed to have you in here.
It's a rabbit. It's a rabbit thing. I really be careful here.
Yeah.
It's that last time I'm squatting this time.
Yeah, you gotta duck your head down because these little clockers.
Yeah, I done did that once.
You like my lawnmower? Did you see my lawnmower? My little Fisker push mower?
Oh, I actually have one of those on my wish list.
Yeah,
Amazon
cool.
wish list.
It works pretty good. I mean, I just mowed the yard earlier with it. So
I've got a real old rotary one like that, but it's locked up.
That's that electric wood chipper.
It's locked up, and I don't know how to unlock it.
These electric wood chippers. That's an electric Sunday wood chipper. It just doesn't have a very big hole for feeding. You don't take real big stuff.
Is that an electric tiller?
Yeah, electric cultivator tiller, and that's if I'm doing just some small stuff around here, it works pretty well. You just got to be careful not to run over your electric your saver.
Yeah, I got a rolled rotary mower, but the wheels are locked up. It won't move.
Compost bin out back, and grapevine. It's kind of messy around here in some spots. I ain't really got a chance to clean a lot of stuff up. Been kind of busy lately, but that's pretty much the tour. I used to just use that for a compost bin, but I actually built one behind the garage that's better now. That's an old one. It's got some just sticks and.
I need more compost bins, man. That's not enough. I'm producing so much stuff.
I'm going to build a little house for this electric smoker. I want to build like a little cabin type thing for that electric smoker right there. Because we're doing a lot of smoking.
Got some ripe berries over there, it looks like.
They're getting there. Those are blackberries, so they'll have to get black.
Okay, I got you.
Or no, that's a raspberry bush, isn't it? Yeah, that's raspberry.
Yeah, that's a nice plump one on there.
That's pretty plump too, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a couple of them on there.
This one's overripe right here. Yeah, want a berry?
Sure.
Enjoy the fruits of the yeah, pretty good. And that's pretty much it.
All right, there's Harold's. Did we get all your websites and stuff, Facebook pages? And I get confused with all of them.
You go to smalltownhomestead.com.
You ever thought about consolidating all them into one name, make it a little bit easier? Every time I try to say something, I forget which one's going to which.
The Facebook group is Homestead. Okay, the Facebook group is Homestead Front Porch Facebook group. The website is smalltownhomestead.com, and the podcast is Modern Homesteading Podcast. So.